This is absolutely spot on. This is the Queen of England, Elizabeth II. And this was the last reigning monarch of Scotland, Mary Queen of Scots. Now, Mary ascended to the Scottish throne at just 6 days old. Now, obviously, you can't run a country when you're 6 days old, so Mary's mother sent her off to France to be raised by the French courts. Whilst in France, she married a king who abruptly died. When she came back to Scotland, she married her cousin. Her cousin got murdered. Mary married her cousin's murderer, who ran a coup, and then Mary went to prison for 19 years. After escaping, she fled to England, where she was saved by Queen Elizabeth I. And for many confusing and political reasons, Queen Mary of Scots tried to kill Queen Elizabeth I. And then in 1587, Mary Queen of Scots was beheaded because of treason. After that, Queen Elizabeth I abolished all royal Scottish families, therefore no kings or queens of Scotland. So, let's talk about it. So hello there fellow peeps of the internet, and welcome to this deep dive into my Queen of Scotland TikTok. Let's talk about the last Queen of Scotland, Mary Queen of Scots. You see, in 1542, Mary's father, King James V, died, and very, very sad. But at that moment, the line of succession led to Mary, who at the time was only 6 days old. Now, for obvious reasons, the monarch of a country can't be a 6-day-old baby. So with the current monarch of Scotland being 6 days old, still pooping in diapers, and having no concept of what haggis is, or what Scotland is for that matter, Mary's mother, also called Mary, sent the smaller Mary monarch off to France to be raised by the French courts. And she had a very nice life in France. Servants everywhere, staying in huge palaces, surrounded by wealth and luxuries, the parties, the dinners, oh my. A real princess kind of lifestyle. When Mary reached the ripe old age of 15, she got married in 1558 to a delightful Frenchman called Francis II, who, just a year later in 1559, became the King of France. Then, just a year later in 1560, he died. Wow! After that whirlwind of drama in France, in 1561, Mary returned back to Scotland to claim her rightful throne as monarch, or Queen of Scotland. After 4 decent years of queening around in Scotland, Mary married her half-cousin, Henry Stuart. Oh, Lord Darnley, oh, what a handsome chap. By marrying Mr. Darnley here, Mary put herself in the direct line of succession for the throne of England after the death of Elizabeth I. But in 1567, Lord Darnley's house exploded and he was found murdered in his own garden. Now at this time, Mary had a lover as well as her husband. The lover was James Hepburn, or Earl of Bothwell, and he was a key witness in the murder of Mr. Darnley. So you see, it was just a case of the lover killing the husband. Simple-ish. And then in April of 1567, Mr. Bothwell here was acquitted of all charges, and just the next month married Mary. What the fuck is going on? Also around this time, because Mary had tried to claim the English throne, the Scottish nobles weren't happy about this, so they imprisoned her in Loch Leven Castle, where she was forced to abdicate her throne in favour of her 1-year-old son James, son of Mary and Henry Stuart, or Lord Darnley. And this is what I got wrong in my TikTok. I had completely forgotten that Mary here had a son with an English noble. Oops! In 1568, Mary managed to escape Loch Leven Castle and raised a substantial army to fight the Scottish nobles to claim back her throne. Unfortunately, she lost. Badly. With this loss, Mary fled to England to seek refuge with her then friend, Queen Elizabeth I. Because at this time, Mary and Queen Elizabeth I were actually pretty damn good friends. Initially, Queen Elizabeth greeted Mary with open arms and kind words. But the relationship between Mary and Elizabeth grew sour when falsified evidence turned up linking Mary to the death or murder of Lord Darnley. This so-called evidence took the form of the casket letters. These letters were claimed to be written by Mary, not only incriminating her in the murder of Lord Darnley, but also showed severe distaste for the English throne and who sat upon it. So imagine this. You are Queen Elizabeth and you have just let in your bestie back into your home because she's having some domestic troubles with her own monarchy, only to find out that she thinks that you're a royal bitch. After all this hullabaloo and drama, needless to say, Queen Elizabeth was rather fed up with Mary. So, Queen Elizabeth had her home imprisoned for the next 19 years. Mary's house arrest consisted of being moved continuously from castle to castle, house to house, for the next 19 years. Not allowed to see her nobles, not allowed to see her consorts, not even her own son. Then in 1587, Mary Queen of Scots was beheaded for treason against the English throne. Her son, now King James VI of Scotland and the First of England, accepted his mother's execution with great ease. Kind of a worrying thought, really. And upon Queen Elizabeth's death in 1603, King James took up his rightful place as King of England, Scotland and Ireland. So there you go, fellow peeps of the internet, that was my deep dive into my Queen of Scotland TikTok. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. But anyway, my name has been AWR Stewart, you have been whoever the hell you are, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye!